we were discussing about the dose response curve. This is as usual, when a drug is administered, it produces a response, and this response shows alteration with change of the dose. So whenever you are going to administer a drug to an animal or to an intact tissue, then as the dose go on increasing, the response is going to be increased. So if you increase the dose 10, 20, 30, 40 and 100 milligram like that, accordingly the percent response is going to be increased like 10%, 20%, 30%, etc. But when the dose reaches to some extent, no further response is obtained. So this dose and response are plotted versus a X and Y graph, that's known as the dose response curve. So the change can be plotted with the dose as abscissa and response as ordinate, or X or Y axes. So the resulting curve is known as the dose response curve. Here this is one of the dose response curve. What happens is, here we are plotting the dose, maybe in milligram per kg, etc. initially in the unit dose per unit mass of the body. So here this side it is the response, 30%, 40 and 100% response. So there is no response which is more than 100%. So here, as the dose goes on increasing, this curve is just like this type of the curve is obtained. So this is not a straight line. This is not a straight line. Hence, the log dose is taken because of this thing. To make the more interpret and correct method, the dose is taken in logs. Whenever you take the log of 1 and other thing, so then it will come in smaller and smaller values, so that the slope of this particular log dose is little bit, it is straight, so that the 70% response, etc. can be plotted little bit with accuracy. That's why usually the log dose is taken. Then here you can see that the measured response is in percents. So the dose is in log 10 scale, log of the 10 scale. And as the dose go on increasing, the potency of that drug increases. This is the slope, means here the response, minimal response has started at this dose, and it goes like this, and after reaching certain doses, the maximal efficacy will be obtained, and later there will not be any response. And once you withdraw the drug, then it will come to the baseline. That's how the
ಆಶಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತತೆ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ನರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೊರೋನಾ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಬಂದ್ರು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಅಂತಂದ ರೊಕ್ಕ ಇಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ. ಕೆಲಸ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು.
So the dose response curve is like this. The graded, now that's the dose response curve. Dose plotted versus response in percents. Dose is usually in the log scale and the response is in percent. That's how it goes. And the graded response is the one, the dose response curve rises steeply at first, but after that it becomes steady as the dose is increased. That's known as the graded response. Means as the dose go on increasing, there will be a graded response of the drug, and the curve is popularly known as hyperbolic or exponential curve. So all these are for the better understanding of the dose related matter. So you can study this particular this thing in more and more graphical manner. That's always better. Hence, the curve is popularly known as hyperbolic or exponential curve. I will show the curve. Such a curve can be shown by plotting dose against percent response. Please see in graded response. What's a graded response? As the quantity of the dose is on increasing, then the response will also go on increasing till the saturation is reached. And usually the curve is plotted against the dose with percent response. this is the what you call as the quantal response. Means here you can see it is always in the log dose concentration 0.001, 0.01 like that. So this is the log whenever we convert the dose in log. So here the response has started. Means suppose it's an isolated tissue, especially in vitro cells. Suppose it's the intestine of a rat, etc. Then you are using the acetylcholine as a drug. Then as and when you go on increasing the dose, the curve rises, means the percent response increases. So it reaches to maximum 100% in XYZ dose. If you plot this thing against this thing, you can get the 100% dose. So this is the minimum dose, or it's also known as the threshold dose. Threshold dose is the one in which the minimal response is obtained in a particular tissue. And this part which is has got more straight line is known as the slope of the curve. That's known as the slope of the curve. And if you plot the response versus dose, and at what response 50% of the response is obtained is EC effective concentration 50. EC
Boy,
effective concentration 50. That's known as the log
ಏನ್
dose.
ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬಂದಾಯ್ತಾ?
Hey, ಹೌದು. So that's the effective concentration 50. Then a graded response usually viewed as terms of intrinsic activity, that is the percentage of a maximal response. That's known as the intrinsic activity of a drug. Means whenever the drug is administered to an animal or a tissue, then there will be a response. That is known as the tissue has got some intrinsic activity. Means it has got the response to the stimuli, and concentration is usually a logarithmic scale to inflate the useful 20% to 80% response. So concentration is usually logarithmic scale and inflate the useful response, where dose relationship is linear, means 20 to 80% in this thing, 20% to 80%, 20% to 80%. That's usually it will be a linear, means straight. Then compress the clinically uninteresting high-low dose ranges. So by observing these particular curves, we are going to measure the potency, that's the effective concentration 50, and the slope and maximum or E max effect available by the drug. And another thing is the threshold dose, which is the lowest dose at which the drug effect is seen. Threshold dose is the one in which the lowest dose of the drug through which the response is seen. Then first one is the graded response. As the quantity of the drug is going to be increased, the response also going to be increased, and it is exponential, and usually the response is plotted over the dose, log dose. Then this is the graded response, whereas in the quantal response, initially no appreciable response until a particular threshold is obtained. Initially there will not be any response is obtained in this type of the quantal dose. Here the quantity matter. Thereafter the curve rises steeply until a maximum dose is attained. But after this, there is no appreciable change in the curve even with the increased dose. This is called as the sigmoid or S-shaped curve. Log dose is plotted against percent data. Here, but not the response. Dose is there, the x-axis there is dose, whereas the y-axis it is the percent data. And here initially there will not be any response. So whenever you go on increasing the dose in a population, thereafter the curve rises steeply, then a maximum response is attained. And once the maximum response is attained, no appreciable change in the height of the curve even though you increase the dose. So here you can see this is also very similar to that of the frequency distribution curve. Here instead of percent response, you can see the people responding or the number of the animals are responding, number responding. Here, not the percent response. Here, the percent of the individual response is seen. Then, here the dose is increased, and even though here 3 milligram per kg may be the maximum response, determine the minimum drug dose required to produce a specific effect of each number of population. Here the drug is tested over a population of animals. So how much? 50% population is affected or 100%, like that. So it is plotted. So one is the graded and this one is the quantal response. And cumulative quantal response plot, here you can see, here the difference is percent individual responding, means suppose in 100 people are there or 100 rats are there and you are administering the dose to all those things, and the percent which is responding, that's known as the quantal, how much quantity is responding. Then here this line, the cumulative percent exhibiting therapeutic effect, this one is the particularly this one is this is therapeutic effect, whereas the red one here is the that's the toxic effect, means this is the percent required to achieve the desired effect. So this this is the percent required to maximal or desired effect, and whereas this type of the red one, here it is required for the death. Suppose you are testing a drug in rats, about 100 rats or 1000 rats, maybe you are converting them into percent. So there are two type of the responses. One is effective dose 50, then lethal dose 50. So initially, as the dose go on increasing, the responding individuals is also going to be increased in percent. Then it is not the response, it is the total number of the people responding. Then after that, as the dose go on increasing, this is the maximal effect. And if you take that maximal effect and start that particular dose, here there will be death of 50% of the individuals. That's known as the lethal dose 50. And the potency of a drug, efficacy, potency, and all these things need to be remembered very properly. So the potency is used to indicate the amount of drug required to produce a specific response. It is the quantity of the drug required to elicit a specific response. What is an efficacy? Efficacy is the maximal effect produced by a drug. So if you go on increasing the dose of the drug, then you will get a maximum response, and apart from that maximum, you will not get any response. That is known as the efficacy. Potency is the amount of drug required to produce a very specific response. That's the potency. This is important to know when deciding between two drugs that have similar type of the action. For example, two antibiotics which have got the same efficacy to kill the same organism, then we will find such graphs. Whereas many of the time, usually what happens is efficacy is the maximal response. You go on increasing the dose, then at one particular time you will get a maximum response. That is known as the efficacy. Here you can see that this is the observed effect. This is known as the observed effect. There are two drugs here, drug A and drug B. So the initial dose or the threshold dose of A is here, whereas the maximal response dose or efficacy dose is present here for the drug A, whereas the EC50 of the black is this one, where the more and more dose is required. To elicit the response, the more dose is required for B to the efficacy. That's why we say that drug A is more potent than drug B, because the maximal response, that's the potency, is reached very fastly when compared to the drug B with lower doses. That's why the drug A is more potent than the drug B, whereas drug A is less effective than drug B. So here the threshold is different for different drug. Drug A is less efficacy is less to this particulars the drug. It's very less, whereas the efficacy of the drug B is more. That's why we can say that drug A is less effective than drug B, whereas the drug A is more potent. Potency is more, whereas the efficacy of that drug is less. What we can say is, in the lower doses only, drug A induces response, whereas the drug B induces highest response in the higher dose. That's known as the efficacy and potency. And the another terminology is there, that is known as the median lethal dose, or it's also known as median effective dose. That's also known as ED50, effective dose 50. So that's a dose of the drug that gives a response equals to 50% of the maximum response. So median effective dose is the one when we plot the dose and response over x and y axis, then what we will get is a curve, and 50% response is obtained. Where we get the 50% response, that dose is known as the median effective dose. Whereas the median lethal dose is the dose of the drug required to produce efficacy or toxicity in 50% of the patient. 50% of the efficacy is the maximum median effective dose. 50% of the lethality is LD50. So these are all the very important terminologies, especially in the what you call as the pharmacodynamics is concerned. So please concentrate on this such particular things. And you may be worried about why this type of the graphs are put, and it's very easy to understand here. The drug dose here, the efficacy of all the three is same. Here you can see the drug dose is plotted over the percent response of the individuals. So many persons are responding, how much persons are responding. So here the same drug, this plot is in the usual dose. Usual dose means therapeutic dose. So this is known as the therapeutic range. From this dose to this dose, it's the therapeutic range. And after this also, it is not wanted. This type of the reactions are not wanted. So all the drugs do have the similar properties. If you increase the dose, then the toxicity will be expressed by the animal. If you increase the dose, the toxicity will be expressed by the animal. Then that's known as the toxic dose. Whereas there is a difference between the toxic dose and lethal dose. Lethal dose is the one in which there is mortality. Here the mortality starts because the toxic effects, maximum toxic effects is obtained here. Then if it is taken as a minimum dose, and here you can see this is the effective dose 50, toxic dose 50, and lethal dose 50. So in the initial stage we will get a dose response curve. Whereas if you increase the dose, you will also get another dose response curve shifted to right. And here you can get the toxic dose 50 value. Whereas the lethal dose 50 value, you will obtain if the 50% of the population is going to be vanished. That's known as the 50% dose. The dose range in which there is no adverse effect, whereas the proper therapeutic or expected therapeutic why this response is obtained, that's known as the therapeutic range. Now, another important terminology, the therapeutic index. Therapeutic index. So, it is a measure of relative safety of a drug for a particular treatment. So, usually the therapeutic index is the equation LD50 divided by effective dose 50, or the lethal dose 50 divided by effective dose this 50. If the value of the therapeutic index is more than the wide margin of safety, For example, penicillins have got a high therapeutic index, means even with higher values of also it is not causing any toxicities. Penicillin G sodium, penicillin G potassium, etc. Even though the dose has increased more than the therapeutic dose, nothing is going to happen. That's how the LD50 of this penicillin is very, very high. That's why usually the therapeutic index will be more in case of the drugs with more safety. Whereas whenever we get the therapeutic index as very small, example warfarin, it's a highly toxic substance. So smaller therapeutic index, more toxic the substance. Larger the therapeutic index, less toxic is the substance or more safe. And therapeutic index, now we will see the definition of this therapeutic index is a ratio of the dose that produces toxicity to the dose that produces clinically desired effective response. So therapeutic index is the ratio of the dose that produces toxicity and the dose that produces clinically desired effect. So ED50 divided by LD50 divided by ED50 is known as the therapeutic index. A ratio that compares the blood concentration at which drug becomes toxic, or the LD50, or the drug concentration at which the drug is effective, is known as the therapeutic index. Larger the therapeutic index, the safer the drug is. Larger the lethal dose 50, the drug is more dangerous. Larger the therapeutic index, it is inversely proportional. LD50 and therapeutic index are inversely proportional. So here TD50, therapeutic dose, toxic dose 50, the dose of a drug that causes toxicity in 50% of the animals or response. Whereas the ED50 is the dose of the drug that is therapeutically effective in 50% of the population. Here please see that it's a population, it's not a single tissue. It is in different animal, in a big group of the animal. You are going to administer the drug, then you are going to find out the therapeutic dose 50, then this toxic dose 50 and effective dose 50. Usually TD50 divided by LD50 is equal to ED50 is equal to therapeutic index. So it also measures the safety of a drug, and the calculation is also done by the LD50 divided by effective dose 50. And the margin of, next word is the margin of safety. Margin of safety. It's the margin between the therapeutic and lethal dose of the drug. Margin of safety means margin between the therapeutic and lethal dose of the drug. Here you can see this one is the therapeutic effect. Whenever you administer a drug through a syringe, then as the dose go on increasing, the response go on increasing, and at certain points it is going to stop. Then if you plot versus 50% of the people population it is responding, then you will get a ED50 value. Whereas if you take the highest dose and plot it versus the percent population responding, then in case of the people who are responding 50% in terms of toxicity, then it is known as the toxic effect. So the dose range between these things, that's the TD50 divided by ED50, is known as the therapeutic index, or simply it is the ratio of toxic effect versus therapeutic effect. As the therapeutic index is more, the what you call as the drug is safe. Then drug safety versus therapeutic index. Therapeutic effect will be obtained by the any of the administered drug and percent responding people. That's the drug may be administered milligram per kg also. You need not take it in the log dose. Here also it is the dose and response, simple dose response curve. Then the therapeutic effect will be obtained by giving any of the drug starting from 0.1 to 1000 milligram. So here we can get the effective dose 50 and the higher dose we will get toxic dose 50. So usually therapeutic index is TD50 divided by LD50. So this is the therapeutic index. Usually in this dose what we will get is the toxic side effects. Once again in this chart we can get the clear cut response margin of safety. What is a margin of safety? Is the difference between therapeutic and lethal dose. Therapeutic dose and lethal dose. So this is known as the therapeutic and the index. So you can see toxic dose ED50, beneficial dose 50. So in this particular chart, this ED50 is 0.1 and LD50 is 1 milligram. So it will come up and divided by 0.1 and then the therapeutic index is 10. As the therapeutic index go on increasing, more and more the safe the drug is. The difference between the usual effective dose and the dose that causes severe or life-threatening side effect is called as the margin of safety. Margin of safety. That's the, if a drug has got wide margin of safety, then it is a good drug. The therapeutic difference, the difference between the usual effective dose and the dose that causes severe or life-threatening side effect is called as the margin of safety. A wide margin of safety is desirable, but when treating a dangerous condition or when there is no other option, a narrow margin of safety can be accepted. For example, the drug which has got the wide margin of safety is penicillin, and the drug which has got very narrow margin of safety is cyclophosphamide, an anti-cancerous drug. In lower dose also it is going to cause some side effects. That's why the wide margin of safety is desirable, but when treating the conditions like cancer and other conditions, we have to go for the drug even though it has got the low margin of safety and more wide margin of the safety, the drug is safe in that particular dose. So the ideal drug should have wide margin of safety.